Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your service. Now, this is going to be a quick video. Once again, I've got something else lined up for a little bit later on, but a proper big review. But this is something I wanted to get off my chest, sort of thing. No, not a rant. Don't go thinking I'm ranting just because I'm holding the Atlantean sword of Conan the Barbarian, and I'm wearing Wolverine's dog tags. Yeah. It's a mashup again. And I'm in the Hunting MacLeod tartan today. No, what it is, I reviewed the film The Car a couple of weeks ago. And do search back and find it because it's a great film, and I was really going completely OTT enthusiastic because it's worth it. But I was discussing the film soundtrack as well by Leonard Rosenman, and he brought in the Dies Irae, which is the Gregorian chant. It's a medieval Latin mass, the Dies Irae, which means Day of Wrath, and it's one of the most brooding, ominous bits of music that you're ever going to hear, and it's in an enormous amount of movies in various permutations. It's in Predator, it's in lots. I was going to name a lot of those, but I'm not going to bother because very quickly, my favourite rendition of it is by Wendy Carlos, and it's from the film The Shining. Stanley Kubrick's sort of, it divides, it's acknowledged as a classic of horror, but true fans, of Stephen King's novel don't like it for different reasons. Stephen King himself doesn't like the film. But then again, if you've seen the TV version, the mini-series by Mick Garris, holy shit, what a mess that was. No, the film The Shining is an absolute bona fide classic. I will come on to that at some point, but we won't go into it right now. But I just want to play for you the music to the opening sequence, the opening title sequence, where the titles go up the screen, which is brilliant. And as the overhead shot of the Torrance family driving through the mountains of Colorado to get to the Overlook Hotel. Now, there is no soundtrack to The Shining. You can't get it. There was an LP which came out. There has been a bootleg version in Japan. There's been numerous, unofficial versions. And there is, and I get this guy's name wrong completely all the time, Christoph. There's K's and Y's and Z's and all sorts in it. Penderecki. He had a huge part in this as well. There were vocals by a woman involved in it too. This main theme you can get on Amazon in a rearrangement by another composer. And, Chuck Sereno, I think his name is, he's done a few good soundtracks actually, but it's a kind of reworking. It's not quite the same as what you're going to hear in a moment because I want to play it, but I don't have the original version to hand. If you go scouring the world to get Wendy Carlos' stuff, I will point you in the direction of Rediscovering Lost Scores, which is two volumes, two CDs of the scores that she composed, mainly synthesized, but with weird orchestrations and weird small orchestral ensembles as well. And don't forget, this is the girl that did Tron, pioneering all electronic sound score. But what she did for The Shining is just superlative, and sadly most of her score that she created didn't get into the film. It's not in there, so it's a wonderful new sort of Mysterioso tour if you get those two CDs, one of which is here. That's volume 1, and on volume 2, because she splits it as well, you've got a slew of Shining tracks on that and a slew of Shining tracks on the other one, so you need to get them both. But I will warn you now that volume 2 is very, very rare and very expensive. So, box clever. But in the meantime, Kilt-Man finds the remote. So I'm going to play for you, because this is actually on the Blu-ray. I think is it the UK or actually no, it's the full extended cut. It might be the US Blu-ray. And a great version to get hold of. It is. Great transfer. Wonderful looking movie. And the soundtrack. Here we go. This is the opening titles. Now, sadly, you ain't going to see it because this is where YouTube and the whole copyright thing really gets a bit messy. Let's turn it up. This is in uncompressed PCM. I have speakers all around the room, but you know, anyway. She used a Moog synthesizer. Sort of whooshing of wind, echoing wind effects. Fantastic camera work. Helicopter zooming in, following the Volkswagen Beetle, which is crawling its way up these mountain roads. Jack Nicholson, name goes up the screen. Shelley Duvall. Poor girl suffered in this movie, suffered. Kubrick put her through the ringer. Those strange little twangs. It's funny how they're going through mountainside tunnels carved into the side of the cliffs. And in the film, The Car, the opening sequence has two cyclists being pursued by the car through very similar mountain roads, with the Dies Irae sort of playing in the background. And that came out before this. Does your skin prickle? The hairs rise. So eerie. That's why I've got this sword, to protect me. I don't know a great deal about Gregorian chants or Latin masses. I don't know really anything about them. But I do love the fact that they've been so incorporated. Oh, here's Jack. So incorporated into movie soundtracks. Jerry Goldsmith for The Omen with his fantastic Ave Satani. You know, and many other movies feature this sort of quasi-religious. There is a husky moving satanically behind me. You can't see, but she's just down there somewhere. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've done it again. It's just so eerie, spectacularly beautiful in a dark way. I do apologise, I've got Penderecki's name probably slightly wrong. Christos Penderecki. Someone will let me know. The thing is, it doesn't matter if you let me know, because the minute I stop this, I'm going to look in the back and go, okay, back of the box. Shit, yeah, of course it is. The version you can get on Amazon for very, very cheap. It's about 79 pence. It's just this track. And arranged by Chuck Sereno. It is a good version, but it does not have the power of this. Let me know your opinions on the film as well, because I think it's a masterpiece. Genuinely believe it to be a masterpiece of escalating paranoia and isolation. It's almost like a more intimate version of The Thing, which is about paranoia and isolation, despair and distrust, all themes that this film has. Cut off in the snow, people you can't trust, escalating madness. the outtake scenes from the end of Blade Runner. This little car speeding through the mountains. Yeah, we all know about this. Just those vocals. Because they are vocals there. That's not a synthesized effect. It's obviously been modulated and a bit sort of sampled and processed. That is a woman singing. Hey. There we go, folks. Here's Jack again. I've always wanted to do a commentary on a movie. Always wanted, because I love commentary tracks on films. Some are really dry and crap and boring, but entertaining ones really do serve the purpose of giving you behind the scenes footage, trivia, anecdotes, genuine memories, nostalgia, and real, they're entertaining pieces of filmic relevance in their own right. I know Spielberg despises them. He'd rather you watch his heavily put together documentaries, his makings of, which are brilliant. But I'd love to sit and watch a film with the people that made it or responsible for it or starred in it, and just to hear their recollections. And I'd love to be able to be that guy, that so-called authority on a film, waxing lyrical over the top of it. Because you know how good I am at just waffly. Anyway, folks, there you go. That was The Shining and the Dies Irae, the Day of Wrath, which is just, I think you'll agree, it's sphincter tingling, isn't it? I mean, it's meant to be religious, but and that's probably a good thing. You shouldn't be terrified of it. Why does it work so well for horror films then? Exactly. Right, folks. I'm gonna split. I'm gonna have me tea, and I'll be back later with a full review on something else. Daddy's